What's cracking, gamers? G-Man .766 Gaming back for another shorter, more informative video today. Now, as I mentioned in a couple previous videos, I feel like a lot of my audience isn't very competitive Pokemon savvy, and it would be a whole lot easier to understand everything that I'm saying if an explanation was given beforehand. So the aim of today's video is to clarify what I'm meaning when I'm saying terms like Pokemon's levels, their special moves, status changes, species stats, base stats, IVs, EVs, and a whole range of other things. So hopefully, next time when I mention them in video, you'll be able to connect the dots, understand what I'm talking about, and then have a better viewing experience. So I haven't really made an informative rundown of just me speaking before. Of course, I had a whole bunch of Super Mario Run videos where I demonstrated how to get through levels, but this isn't quite the same. So I think I'm going to just start off by explaining the most basic part of Pokemon statistic changes, which is leveling up. Now, if you couldn't understand with that little skit of me at the Mudkip, here Wooloo knocks out a Wild Spritzy. It gains experience point, which then makes it level up, as you can see here, and it increases all of its stats bar attack. Level plays a huge role in the statistics of Pokemon. As you can see here, this level 60 Magikarp has a speed of 119, while this level 40 Magikarp only has a speed of 69. Nice. But level is easy. You may be asking, what else plays a role in Pokemon stats? Well, I'll hand you over to Live Griffin so you can sort that one out. And here I am, live recording Griffin, ready to give you the rundown on what different statistical categories make up a Pokemon's final stats. Now, the first thing I'd like to point out is that there are obviously different species of Pokemon. Even though my Dragapult, Orbeetle, Ferrothorn, Mimikyu, and Toxapex are all level 60, you can see that all of the numbers next to their stats are very, very different. And that's because Dragapult, for example, is a very, very fast, strong Pokemon, so you can see that its speed and attack stats are over 200. Whilst Ferrothorn, over here, has very, very high defense, HP, and special defense, whilst its special attack, speed, and attack might be lacking. So that's the first difference. Each species of Pokemon is good at different things. Dragapult is a fast attacker. Toxicity is a very, very good special attacker. Orbeetle here has very high defense, very high special defense, and a great speed stat. Ferrothorn has high HP, defense, and special defense. Mimikyu has super high attack and super high speed. And Toxapex has incredible defense, incredible HP, and incredible special defense. The next thing that you're going to notice is that there's a red and a blue. These red and blue colors next to the Pokemon stats are due to natures. Natures are something that a Pokemon possesses that will influence their stats. For example, this Toxapex here, if I check its summary, has a bold nature. And a bold nature means that its defense is boosted by 10%, while its attack is lowered by 10%. So picking the right nature on your right Pokemon can really make a difference. Usually, you want to pick something that the Pokemon's already good at. So I chose a nature that would boost my Toxapex's defense, while, lower its attack that it wasn't really ever going to take advantage of. However, with my Dragapult, I wanted its speed super high, so it can outspeed all of the other Dragapults on the field. And its special attack didn't really need to be high, because my Dragapult's a physical attacker. And that's basically the overall theme of nature. After nature, it's important to know what your Pokemon's effort values are. Effort values is something that a Pokemon gains by defeating other Pokemon. Now, when you defeat a Dragapult, for instance, your Pokemon will gain an effort value for speed. If you defeat an Orbeetle with high special defense, your Pokemon will gain a base point for special defense. When you collect a whole bunch of base points, your Pokemon can become fully trained. As you can see here, there are sparkles shooting out of the attack and speed stat because I've fully trained both of those stats. You may be wondering, hey man, why haven't you trained all of its stats to the max? And that's because effort values can only have a maximum of 510 points allocated, and 252 of those can go into one category. So doing some quick maths here, you can see that 252 multiplied by 2 is equal to 506, meaning that you'll only have 4 effort values able to allocate to a third statistic. Again, the same as nature, you want to pick effort values that are good for the Pokemon that they're already going to use. So this Dragapult has high attack and high speed because that's what I intend to use it for. Finally, I'd like to talk about individual values. This is something that you can't change on a Pokemon unless hypertraining them, which is the topic of a different video. You can see here that my Dragapult has the best possible HP, attack, defense, special defense, and speed stats, while its special attack stat is pretty good. As I mentioned before, I'm not using my Dragapult for special attack, so I'm fairly happy with its stats right now. This Orbeetle here has decent HP and very good special attack, as well as the best possible statistic in every one of those categories. Again, I could just be spewing rubbish to you, so I'll try my best to explain what IVs mean. Basically, each Pokemon species has hundreds and hundreds of different variants of Pokemon. These Pokemon strengths are determined by their individual values, or IVs. As you can see, there are 6 major statistical categories in Pokemon: HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. Each one of these values has a hidden point value between 0 and 31. If you have a Pokemon with all 31 points in every single one of those 6 values, then good job. You've gotten a perfect IV Pokemon, which are really hard to get. On my battle team, I have a perfect IV Mimikyu, which I'm super happy with, because it means that no Mimikyu is ever going to be able to have better stats than this one. If I took a Mimikyu, let me try and find another one in my box. For example, this Mimikyu here. You can see that it's got fantastic HP and pretty good speed, but it's only decent in all the other categories. So even at the same level 60, it won't perform as well as my other Mimikyu, which I've not only EV trained and given a good nature, but also has IVs that are irreversible. You can't ever change them. If you check the stats of this Pokemon, you can see right off the bat its speed is 135 and its attack is 114, whilst the Mimikyu in my battle party has 169 attack, nice, and 193 speed. So obviously it really does make a difference. Even without a nature boost, my Mimikyu's attack is much higher than that one's. And that concludes our video on level, species stats, natures, IVs, and EVs. However, we've still got a long way to go before we want to come anything close to a Pokemon Online Master. So, if this video gets 5 likes on it, I'll make a second part, which includes a Pokemon's held item, a Pokemon's ability, movesets, and so much more. Also be sure to share with your friends, and make sure they're subscribing as well, because the more people we have in the comments letting me know what I need to do better, the better the content can get. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.